How's it going, everybody? I am back in Fallout 4, and this time I am at Outpost Zimonja again. This will be my third video here. Mainly I'm just going to be building up the central area of Outpost Zimonja. I wanted to make it look a little bit more built up, but nothing like crazy, you know? So I'm not going to be doing too much adding on to like the buildings that are on the radio tower. Old saves a long time ago for me, I built up around the radio tower, and I just don't think that it's like the coolest looking thing. So I basically just decided that I'm going to mess around here a little bit, add on to the bottom of it. Gonna try to close off all this area, make it look a little bit more interesting. Just fix it up, really, not really add on to it too much. I don't want it to look ridiculous, you know. So I'm gonna be adding on a couple of walls up top, a little bit, just to kind of separate all these areas, and then down where I have added these half walls, basically all I'm doing right here is I'm trying to close off that area. That way I can have a small room down there as well. And the point of that is just to have some extra space for the settlers, another room, without having to like build up too much. Also, it makes it look better held up and a little bit like more structurally sound, I suppose. But I went ahead and grabbed some planks that are angled upwards. There's one that is 3 long, so I grab the vertical piece, and then I go ahead and I get 2 of them, or maybe 3 of them, I don't remember. But I go ahead and use place anywhere to fill in these gaps. You can see it actually works like rather well. I was kind of shocked that it worked as well as it did. But you can see, place them in there, and then like I said, I grab one more, I'm pretty sure. But I was actually shocked, like I said, how well those fit in place. Oh, that's what I thought about doing. Thought about moving it over. It just kind of left too big of a gap on top that I didn't like. But I just filled this in as well. So it's a little bit better closed off. Get rid of the junk kind of hanging out on the edge. As you can see, I got rid of the fence that is up around the concrete pad below the radio tower where the actual workbench is, so that they could have access to this area. And then I go ahead and start adding in some floors down here. I mainly just wanted to look scrappy. I realized I can pick up practically the entire settlement. It's all one big mess. And then I need to fill in these back corners, so I just grab a couple more shack floors. And then I just wanted them to look a little bit different, so I grabbed 2 that have the plywood sitting on top. That way I can kind of sink them in a little bit, and it still wouldn't look super weird, and it would just fit a little bit better than using just flat plywood pieces. And also the settlers will use these floors instead of plywood. But yeah, as you can see, I filled that area in pretty well. I thought I just end up adding another half wall eventually. Up here I closed that off like I said I was going to. I'm using the reason I can jump so high is because I've got the Captain Cosmos pack. I bought that, and I was gonna do a video on it, but after doing the quests and stuff, I really didn't feel like doing a video on it. It seems like those are like the most popular videos on my channel most of the time, the mod reviews or like the Creation Club pack reviews or whatever, those seem to be what people like the most, I think, from me. And I was going to do one on the Captain Cosmos pack, but I didn't. I also bought the Nuka-Cola pack. You guys probably noticed that whenever I did the tour of Jamaica Plains. I had a Nuka-Cola container in that for decoration of the inside of the house, and I think I mentioned that it was from that, but I don't know. And like I said, I added one more half wall on this side. I just used the metal one, so it looks a little bit different. And then to kind of break up, because it blends, or it like clips into the wall, I use these sandbags, and depending on how I have them angled and stuff, so I move these all the way down till I can just see those sandbags that are on top up there, so that way it looks like they're kind of even and not like clipping too much, and then yeah, nothing is poking through, so I'm pretty pleased with how that is. And then to, again, break up the texture a little bit more, I just kind of place a few more sandbags. Also, because I mentioned that this was going to be someone's house, I tried to make it look a little bit more built up on the outside. That way it's not as dangerous, even though just the position of Outpost Zimonja is dangerous pretty much, because there's a massive hill directly to my right now that gives you a clear eye over the whole settlement. It's not the safest place in the world, but it's fine. And then I just throw down a couple more cinder blocks to kind of make it blend well around the corner. This is kind of just decoration. There's going to be a cut here in a second to something else, but I really shouldn't have showed all this. Yes, it's part of like the actual structure, but it's mainly just decoration. So this kind of stuff is just stuff that I would do around the settlement anyway. But then we move inside up top to where the walkway is, over to this structure down here. And I just go with two of those back to back. It just looks like one piece of sheet metal, I think. And then I added some more fences, or not fences, chain link fences. As you could see a second ago, I had to move it to get in. I think that ended up adding a little bit of scrappiness to the area, and then I end up adding some half walls till I get a small gap that kind of looks like a door frame, and I wanted that to blend a little bit better, but it really is hard to do, so I just end up moving it till the plywood on the front is showing. And then I do something very similar on this side, where I just find a spot that it'll fit. And then I think I end up changing that. Yeah, so I grab the exact same wood piece that I used for the corners on the bottom floor. And you can see I grab it with Place Anywhere. I'm trying to figure out what height it needs to be and see how much would actually be showing. It ends up not being that bad, but it's still like a visible amount showing. I didn't want it to be like sticking up over the top of the roof or anything, and I didn't want it to be, because of how it is right now, it's kind of sticking out. I move it down a little bit and then position it more of a way that I like it. And look, it's not too bad. You can't really notice it unless you're really looking for the piece clipping through, and then in an attempt to make this look more door frame like, I add a couple wooden beams across the front to kind of make it a little bit smaller of a gap in the wall. It's still pretty wide. Like, if that was a door, that would be really long, or really wide door, but it doesn't really matter that much. And then eventually I end up adding a roof over the front of this, and then it looks a little bit better. I didn't want to do too much with this area. I also work on the house down there that is in the middle of or next to the radio tower. I end up adding just a couple walls and stuff like that, just to close it off and make it look a little bit more interesting. I thought that was weird, just looking at it. The dirt would glitch up on top of the roof piece, but yeah, this is basically just making this place look a little bit more interesting without changing it too much. It's still very similar to the vanilla like structures and stuff. I didn't change it too much. I thought about using that piece because that's probably one of the more interesting pieces, but it doesn't really fit. It makes it kind of hard to do anything. Like, you can't actually get to the house because it covers most of the walkway. So I just use these shack columns. I was making sure I had the shorter ones, and then there's these shorter ones, but they are too short. Or, well, no, they clipped into the ground a little bit. That's what it was. But those are about the shortest ones that I'm going to get. So I just moved them closer to the edge. And I didn't care if they clipped through the ceiling a little bit, and then also were a little bit further away from the edge of the balcony or whatever with the railing. It just adds a little bit of detail. And then same, I just kind of lined these up and walked to the other side, and then got at the right angle and then moved it over. So that worked out. And you can see it's not clipping really at all. So I was pretty pleased with how that turned out. And then here's the finished tour. You'll notice that I try very hard not to show you the right side because I totally forgot to record this part until after I recorded another video of me building another part of the settlement. So there's some stuff that is already done that you guys won't see until the next video, but maybe you guys can get little tidbits about what it's going to look like. I really like this settlement. This settlement turned out awesome. It's gone now. I definitely lost at least like half of it, I think. Back to just the greenhouse, I think, is what I have. But oh well, I got the videos all done and everything. Here's me trying to turn around as fast as possible so you can't see the trailer that's going to be coming out on Thursday. And then back here we got a very like small little living area. Not very much decoration. I tried to go so light on decoration because this was whenever I was getting the save issues. Let me turn towards the wall so you guys can't see everything. The greenhouse looks awesome. I'm actually super proud of that. As we walk up here, we've got a nice looking balcony now. And then closed off little house. Different bed in here, not just a mattress laying down, a piece of furniture. And then walk around to the other side. There's a little bench up here. And very similar, it's just the mattress, and I think there's a chair in the corner. Yep. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of these builds. I realize the decorations aren't anything crazy, but that's just because the settlement kind of was dying on me. And then here's this. I didn't show you guys that, I guess. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, and then I will be having another video out on Thursday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.